Hello everyone, welcome to my last video of Djangology month. I'm sorry for the clickbait title, but I had to do something because my previous video did so badly on YouTube that I had to come up with a title to attract more viewers, so hopefully this works. And again, my apologies. This is not gonna be my last video, but it is gonna be the last video of Djangology month. If you are not familiar with the way I do things on my channel, I'm doing themed months. So last month was Djangology month and this month is Donna Lee month. And we did an exploration of the theme. We looked at 3 different solos, one by Charlie Parker, one by Stockler Rosenberg, one by Jimmy Rosenberg. And we did a video with my top 6 licks from those solos. And this video will be about how to play Gypsy Jazz rhythm for Donna Lee. And it's gonna be the last video. As usual for my videos about rhythm, I'm not going to dive into the rhythm technique because I made separate videos for technique. Those will be linked in the description. I'm just going to go into how I play the chords. But just as a reminder, I'm focusing on a dry, short rhythm with not every string ringing. Even though you might see my hand shaped on all 6 strings, I'm probably hitting only 2 to 4 strings. But again, watch my technique video to get the complete details about those aspects of rhythm playing. Let's start with the first 8 bars. You will see every chord rolled slowly, and then you will see me play it in time with a backing track which only has bass. So this rhythm lesson consists of 3 things. First we have this video, the video you're watching. Then there is a PDF with every chord in a diagram, and that's available on my Patreon for my $5 patrons, $5 and up. And there's also this backing track that you just heard me play with only bass in 2. And that's an excellent tool to practice because even though the bass is in 2, you have to play 4 chords per bar, right? And the bass plays in 2. So that's an excellent tool to practice your tightness as a rhythm player, and that rhythm track is available for my patrons at the $10 level. So if you want either the PDF or the rhythm track or both, check out my Patreon. There's a link to my Patreon in the description. So let's just look at those first 8 bars and see if there's anything worth talking about further. The first 2 chords, not much to say except for the F7, even though I play this shape, and if I would play all strings, you hear this 9, right? Most people would actually play a flat 9 in their solo. They would play this F sharp. Now you can play F7 flat 9, but I usually don't do that. I usually play 9, but then I don't really hit that B string, so you only hear those 4 strings. What you don't hear is G, so it doesn't clash with the solo player. To B flat 7, then a 2-5 to A flat, that's easy. And now I play E flat minor 7 to D7, even though the chords in many charts would say E flat minor 7, A flat 7. Of course that's also possible, but I like this movement. Whenever I have a short 2-5, like every chord 2 beats, I like to do it like that. And D7 and A flat 7 are basically the same chord. They call it Tritone Substitutes. They only have a different bass note, and you can see that on the guitar, because if I play D7 or A flat 7, you see these 2 notes, the C and the F sharp, they don't change, they stay. So this works great. And you get this nice movement. That last chord, D flat 6, is part of the next 8 bars. Let's check those out. before we explore these 8 bars, I want to pay attention once again to the release of my book, the Van Hemert System book. I just released it, and instead of talking about it now, I made a nice little ad for Instagram, and I'm going to play it for you right here in the video. You just listened to a jazz solo on the chords of the famous tune Minor Swing. And if you are a guitar player and you ever ask the question, how does someone come up with all those notes, all those lines on a jazz chord progression, I have the answer for you, and I wrote it down in a book called The Van Hemert System. And it is a method that teaches you how to improvise just like this, without the use to study music theory, scales, modes, arpeggios. You don't even have to know all the notes on the neck. You just have to learn very convenient shapes across the guitar neck that are based on hundreds of transcriptions of jazz masters that I made throughout the years. If you are interested in learning how to improvise with such an easy method, go to jungleguitars.com and order the Van Hemert System book. I hope you liked that little ad. If you're interested in my book, please check it out in the web store of jungleguitars.com. So these 8 bars start with D flat 6 to D flat minor 6. Now there's 2 ways you can play it. You can play it like I played it in the video, or you can play it like this on the 1st fret. I like to play it here because then I can go to the next chord, A flat with the C in the bass. Now the official chord is not A flat with the C in the bass, the official chord is A flat, like A flat major 7 or A flat 6. But I like this movement of, and also it makes it very compact, very efficient. And it doesn't really matter if you put that C in the bass, it's a pretty high up on the neck, so if the bass plays a low A flat under it, it sounds fine. It's just an inversion. Instead of D flat minor 6, you can also play G flat 7. It's the same voicing, only I would also play the note on the A string on my 2nd finger, the G flat. To A flat with a C in the bass, right? And then for F7 I only have to move my 1st finger up. And that's really nice movement, right? You get... It just sounds very clear. You hear those voices move. They call that voice leading. That's not important what it's called, but in this case, it is a nice effect. B flat 7, and then there's a 2-5 to A flat, and then we're in the 2nd half. Now the first 3 chords of the 2nd half are the same chords as the 1st half. A flat 6, F7, B flat, and then we get to a different part. Let's check that out again with the close-ups. If you are already an experienced rhythm player, you might have been surprised by the 1st chord, right? It says G half diminished, but I'm playing this chord. And maybe you even know that this chord is actually not G half diminished, it's B flat minor with a D flat in the bass. G half diminished would be this, or this. But notice that those chords are actually also B flat minor 6 in an inversion. So the only thing I'm doing is playing a different inversion, and I'm doing that because it has nice movement, again that voice leading, to the C7. So even if there's not a G in the bass, again it's high up in the neck and it just works great for a minor 2-5 to play it like this. So I'm calling it G half diminished, C7, and now it's F minor, and I'm playing F minor 7 in the video, but you could also just play F minor 6. Although most people would actually think F minor 7, the F minor 6 sounds fine there because we're gonna go to a kind of F minor part. So you could play and then C7 again, back to F minor 7 or F minor 6, back to C7, F minor 7, and then B diminished. And there's several ways you can play that B diminished chord. You can play it like this, or you could play it like this. So this high A flat stays, so you get, or, and then a 2-5 to A flat. Now the 2-5 to A flat is something that people play when they play straight ahead jazz or bebop, but most gypsy jazz players actually like to play so A flat with the C in the bass, B diminished, B flat minor, E flat 7, A flat, and all 2 beats, so it would sound like this. Let's start 4 bars before. Like this, and that is the way that most gypsy jazz players play it. Doesn't really matter for the solo, you can play the same things, just so you know. And in the PDF on my Patreon I have both versions written down. And then we have, of course, A flat and the turnaround back to the beginning. And the turnaround I chose in this video is this one. E7, E flat 7, but you can do B flat minor, E flat 7, or just E flat 7. I like this E7, E flat 7. It's like a traditional jungle turnaround, but it's a very swinging turnaround. It fits the tempo that we're playing the song in for this video, which is 200 BPM. To finish, let me play the complete form without bass, because I don't have access to the backing track right now. And I'm gonna be a little bit more free in the sense that I'm gonna use the same voicings, but I might shift stuff around. For example, I could do, instead of, I could do, just to give you an idea how I might vary the chords that I'm teaching you right here without doing weird voicings. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That was it for this rhythm lesson, and that was it for this month, Donna Lee month. Now this video will go in 2 separate categories, both Donna Lee month and also my rhythm workout series, CRW, Christian's Rhythm Workouts, and check the playlist on my channel for more rhythm workouts. And hopefully I will see you all next month, and then it's exactly like you month, with great solos, for example by Django, Stan Getz, and many more videos. Bye!